Good morning, Indrek and Derek, and so nice to have you here today, here in studio. And we saw the video, and now we would definitely like more here details about GlobalReader and also how Ojala Estonia using it. I think I have a couple of questions to you, and you will give us an overview how you see it. First, I would like to ask from GlobalReader, could you please tell briefly about your main business and also how your system actually help increase efficiency in manufacturing?
Thank you. Hello, everyone. So GlobalReader provides a tool or set of tools to collect data from the machines in the factory. So basically what we are doing, we can retrofit a small black box, looks like this. This can be put to any kind of machine basically, and we start to collect data with it. And with that data, we start to show how the machine works, how has it worked today, during a shift or last hour. So what we are trying to do and what we are doing is to bring the decision making nearer to real time, and we are building the data around the people so that decisions about manufacturing processes can be done based on this data.
Okay, and I would also ask Derek, can you tell us more about Ojala Estonia? What is your main business, your services, how you operate?
Hello everyone, my name is Derek Vaide. I am Managing Director of Ojala Estonia, which is the daughter company of Ojala Group, which has the main factory in Sievi, Finland. We are working in sheet metal industry, I would say, and we can do whatever from sheet metal. So and we are mainly subcontractor for big industries. So subcontracting industry and the sheet metal industry is our focus.
Mm. Can you also tell us how GlobalReader system help you in manufacturing, in production?
Yes, so like you all know that you can improve things what you measure. So GlobalReader helps us to collect data from shop floor, so we can get more data out from our factory to have improvement possibilities.
So I would like to add here that the first slide that I showed, it was showing the dashboard how a production manager sees how the machines have been working. And this picture that we have at the moment on the slides, this shows actually how the machine has been working during a shift. And the data that we are collecting and that builds around the machine and the people is actually showing us is there a good result behind the workday or not. So usually this data is collected, and very many times we see it is analyzed maybe next morning or in the end of the week, or worst cases in the end of a month. But now we can show it in real time, which means that, well, let's take this example that we have in the picture. So basically, if we see that 5 o'clock in the morning the work starts, shift starts, and the red line shows where is the goal of the machine speed. And then basically we see that speed is reached at 8 o'clock, and we can assume that this speed is partly the speed is there because the management has come to work. So this kind of information, it might be interpreted differently, but maybe this is the first idea that comes to my mind. And another thing is the amount of stops when the machine has not been producing anything. So like few minute stops, this is something that we usually don't see, and this gives us an overview of where the time and the machine's performance actually is going. So Derek, do you have any comments on that?
Yeah, for sure. So actually, if you see this picture, then from nuts you cannot tell is it good or bad. But this is very helpful for managers who are let's say guiding the operations in factory floor. So the main let's say the best thing here is that you can get the data out real time from factory. So your managers and yourself can check what is the status of the machinery, and if you see abnormal reactions or processes in factory according to this data, then you can react immediately. You don't have to analyze it next morning or so on. So it helps managers to react immediately.
So the first thing is to react as soon as possible. That's one of our goals to show to our users. And actually the next part, and this is something that Derek already started to talk about, is also analyzing. So this picture is interesting.
Yeah. So actually, you get out the data about stop times. So you have to analyze the stop times and what are the biggest or even the smallest things why your machinery has failures in factory. So you have to dig into the data actually. So to improve something, you have to know and then start to act actually.
When you see this, get this data report, what is your first feelings or first thought when you put attention the first?
Yeah, for sure. The red is bad, and you see that there is a possibilities to improve. So if you have more downtime than actually runtime of the machine, then you have to look what are the reasons why your machines are not working.
Yeah, and it's a question for Indrek also. You have customers, SMEs, and what is your experience? What is the most important information they will get out from using your system?
It always depends on the goal. So the first thing is to set the goal with the company and between us. So is it to improve the downtimes or is it to improve the machine speed? This already makes the difference what kind of data we need to read actually. And maybe I want to a little bit come back to this red area. Then maybe one of the fears that sometimes comes out is that if you see this kind of a picture, then usually managers start to think about, okay, what are the things that are wrong over there? But on the other hand, if we want to see what's behind there, we need to get the reasons also. So if we go forward to the next slide, then if we see the reasons, and this is the fear that comes out, is that in many cases managers have told me that we have always done it like this. And the improvements, they are usually something that they take long time, might be hard to do. So my question actually, if you start to improve something, you measure it and you need to take action, then like what were the things in Ojala you found out and what did you do?
Yeah. First things are for sure that after implementation you will improve the reaction time. So you get the data and you can your manager will go to the factory and ask why. So and the second let's say the immediate improvement is sort of a cultural improvement. So beginning of work time, or at the end of the shift, you see that maybe the work time or the shift ends 5 minutes before the actual work time, and so on. So you present these reports also to your workers, and then they see immediately that okay, they are not performing as good employer is expecting them to do.
So basically, maybe the answer to your question, what are the main benefits besides the data and everything our customers and partners get? They get the question why, and they can start to work on it. So I think that's maybe the biggest thing that you can get, because behind the question why, you can actually get the like reasons.
Yeah.
But actually, it's possible to measure many things and also get a lot of data out of production. But what is, Indrek, your experience? How much really they use this data to improve these manufacturing processes?
Again, this depends on the companies. The thing is that every company is at their own stage. So this means that there are companies who want to improve their already they are collecting a lot of data, but they are doing it manually. They want to do it digitally. I understand that. So then we have to approach a little bit differently. But if you don't have anything, first of all, you should start to collect the data and see what is happening. So if you have always seen only the results, like okay, in the end of the day we did 12,000 meters, and we are okay with that. Then if you set up a monitoring tool, and this time I'm saying whatever monitoring tool, and you start to measure the information or the machine, then you usually see that the machine is stopped half of the time of the shift. So basically, this 12,000 meters that we are used to is actually maybe the minimum that we can get out. So yeah, this kind of depends on the company where they are.
Derek, I have a question also for you. Actually, it's a previous slide. What were the main reason for the downtime in your production, and what decision did you make when you get it?
Let's say the main reason in our business or in our factory is the actually changeover. So these are, let's say, changeover is more complicated part to improve. So you have to dig very deep what change has happened in the production. But then the biggest downtimes are for sure the breakdowns of the machinery, some technical failures, some tool shortage, for example. Then operator shift doesn't go over according to a plan, and then yeah. So these are the main things. But come back to this why question. So this is the main thing actually. So you will have the question why. Why has happened like this?
Yes, and I have, Derek, one more question about this slide actually. Sharing data with co-workers. How you using or doing it on a regular basis? It's visible only for management, or you sharing this information with co-workers? How dealing with this data?
Actually, we are sharing it on the machine. We have every machine have their own PC there, and then they see what is happening actually on the machine, and we are sharing the data also with managers. So there are screen, so manager can see immediately from the screen. He can just look and see what is ongoing at the moment. So it is very important that you share the data with the managers and also with the workers. let's say the final solution or the target for us is that it will be the cultural change, and as managers we don't need to react, so that actually the operators are reacting before then the managers are coming to ask why. So this is the target what we have, but you have to visualize everything before that.
Do you also see that it's the tool you can use workers' motivation and also production visibility through this data? It's also how you use it or how you see in future?
Yeah, like I described already this future. So
future points. Okay.
And I would
no
like
more.
to.
Probably you, Indrek.
Yeah. So I just wanted to bring out this next slide, and if we have a question like how long it takes to actually get the first results, then I have to say that the best cases have been that in the first few 3-4 months the results have been really good. So here is an example how the amount of units in a company has actually grown during this period. There might be other factors, I do understand that, but we can visualize it. And if we then work with, let's say, with Ojala and their factory, and they say that, okay, we want to have like this tool should work as a bonus system, then we can also help with that. So if you visualize it and you talk about this, then the results will come. So I definitely suggest to have this data available to everybody, and then the results will go up. And if you connect it to the bonus system, then well, sky is the limit.
Yeah.
Okay. Indrek, also, and there a question for you. What is your advice? How to start to use the system from starting point, and what will be the first useful to be the first steps, and how quickly then you will see all these results?
Yeah, from let's say implementation phase, you have to advertise it to the managers and then also to the workers. So you have to get the resistance out. So for sure nobody doesn't like that somebody is looking at their everyday job, and better to be in secret phase. So so you have to get operators or workers on board. Otherwise, it might be complicated to implement the system.
As Derek was saying, it is a cultural thing also. So it's not only collecting data, and you can't use it in the expression in English is carrot and the stick. So basically, if you use the tools or the data from one side you give a cookie, or the other way you punish, then it's not a tool to implement, because then there will be a lot of resistance. So first of all, it has to be part of a how to say this? It has to be a part of culture that needs to be or is in the company already. So basically, what I always suggest is to start with less machines, so that you take one bottleneck or two bottlenecks where you actually test out the solution. You understand what it gives you, how you can use the data, and this might take some time. And then you start to roll it out around the factory, and then the culture will also start to change. So we've seen examples where companies, okay, we now want all the machines to be covered. That's okay, but the amount of data that comes in, and if the internal processes are not ready, then it's overwhelming.
Yeah. You have to provide the resources. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One more question, very, very briefly. The biggest fears the small and medium-sized companies faced in digitalization, Indrek, what do you think?
Change.
Face in digitalization.
Yeah, but it's change. So the fear of change. So it's if you want to change something, this is hard to do, and that's something that companies are afraid of. But I would recommend to try out and it's not very, it's not expensive. It's not very time-consuming to test out, and then you can see what are the options there. So don't be afraid of change.
Would you like to
Good words.
add something?
Good words.
We can stop here. Thank you very much. And I wish you to have very successful autumn and winter time during this COVID crisis.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay healthy.